No, I feel like this cast is so diverse and it's like very open. I feel like no one really judges you for things that other cities, I'm sure, judge you for. It's great to be in a place where, you're loved for who you are. And there's not a better feeling than that. And it's great. I mean, the girls are all so different, and Julia brings such a different aspect to the show. Like shooting with her every day was like, I swear we had so many conversations about all the women were going to be lesbians by the end of the show. I was like, I promise all the women are going to be lesbians by the time the show is done, because they all fell in love with her and her personality. So I was like, it's just an open, friendly cast. And it's just Miami. I think it's just very open-minded.
I mean, and I have to say, like, when I heard she was part of the cast, I figured, we would get maybe one visit by Martina, maybe two, but like Martina is part of this show. Like, wow. Like, what is it like filming with Martina Navratilova? I mean, she's a freaking icon.
Oh no, it was so much fun. Everyone loves her. I feel like, she's just so welcoming and nice that I literally was like, hey, can we play tennis sometime? Like it was the funniest thing. Like she made me feel so comfortable. And then when I left and I was driving home and I was telling a girlfriend of mine, she's like, you really said that to her? And I was like, yeah, she's so nice. I mean, she was like, she's not playing tennis with you. And I was like, you never know. You never know.
Listen, are you a good tennis player?
I mean, I like tennis. I'm not like, not Agassi or anything. I'm not like the best. I'm not like Serena, but I'm good.
You're better than I am. That I can guarantee you.
I mean, you just got to practice. It's like anything else,
You guys have like the warm weather in Miami. You're outside. I'm freezing over here in New York City. So, there you go. Well, we saw that you recently sold your house. How nice is it just to be, have your house sold and move on to like a different chapter of your life?
I mean, it's bittersweet. Like I love that house. We built that house. We have so many amazing memories in that house, but it was time to sell it and move on. And I'm super excited. I'm actually going back to Miami tomorrow to go house shopping and see what's on the market right now.
What's your style of a house? Like if you had like we see like Alexia's like gorgeous condo, like what's your style of real estate?
I don't know. I feel like I want something that's like modern and not so big. I feel like I've always had really big houses. Like my house in LA is a pretty big house that I'm in right now. I kind of want to be almost like turnkey in Miami. Just I want to spend more time on the beach and less worrying about all the problems in my house.
People always think bigger is better. And I agree. Like sometimes you have too much house, right? Which we saw on the show
Yeah.
recently. You looked at that house in Boca and it's gorgeous, but too big.
Yeah. I feel like I want to like downsize a bit, not like,
And you want something modern.
I love modern.
We love modern. Well, your divorce from Scottie is final. And, I feel like from where I'm sitting, there's always been so much talk of like, Larsa is like Scottie's ex and, your so-and-so's ex BFF. Like to me, it seems like 2020 is the year of Larsa, right? Like you're on the show, like you have your jewelry. Like it seems this is kind of the year where people are going to be saying Larsa is Larsa. Am I wrong? Am I overstating that?
No, I feel like I've always been Larsa, I just feel like I'm surrounded by other people that get shine too, so it's kind of like you get lost because you're like in the middle, and I never like to be in the forefront normally. But yeah, I feel like this is definitely going to be my year. I feel like I have so many amazing things happening for me. The show was amazing for me. I had a great experience. I loved being a part of the cast. I feel like the girls were amazing. My kids are older, they're rock stars. So I feel like I'm definitely winning right now. So I don't know what's going to happen later on in life, but right now I'm winning. So I'm just going to enjoy this moment and, thrive in it.
I mean, speaking of your kids, look, you love your kids no matter what, right? But how happy is Scottie that two of his sons are following in the family business and pursuing basketball?
I mean, Scottie is super excited about that. He was just at little Scottie's game yesterday. He's very supportive of the kids. He loves all of them. And the fact that a couple of them love basketball, he loves that. He's
Not a
lucky.
bad thing.
He's lucky. Yeah, he's lucky he had a few boys.
Seriously. Well, your divorce really was so non-dramatic and you are co-parenting like so well, like which I think is really hard anyway, but I think it's even harder like when you're in the public eye. Like what advice would you have for people? Look, there's a lot of messy divorces, right? In the public eye and in Hollywood. So you guys seem to be doing it so well. Like what advice would you have for people?
I feel like just focus on the kids, you know. I feel like when couples hurt each other, the only thing it really does long term is affect the kids. And, you know, I would never do that to my kids. I love them so much. Scottie loves them so much. And you know, we didn't have one problem that, you know, it wasn't one big problem that broke us up. It was like small little problems that, you know, we couldn't get over the hump, but we still love each other. You know, we love our kids. So, you know, I just feel like just maybe look at the big picture rather than like the small things that really could annoy us. There's so many things that I could have like lost my mind over. And I just chose not to like focus on the small things rather than, you know, I'd rather focus on like the big picture. And the big picture is like, I'm happy. I'm happy. He's happy. My kids are great. So for me, that's all like, you know, I could ever wish for.
That's such a good attitude. Speaking of your children, we just saw this scene where you went shopping with Sophia. And
Mhm.
am I the only one that remembers another show that Sophia had a starring role on? I mean, Dancing with the Stars Juniors.
I mean, Sophia's killing it.
Was that like, as a mother, like, were you just, I mean, how stressful was that? Was that a stressful experience just watching? I mean, Dancing with the Stars is no joke.
Oh, I'm such a competitive person. And like watching Sophia, like I feel like I was mic'd during the elimination of Sophia. And I feel like when I went in to talk to her, I didn't know what to do to make her feel good. And I was like, they're hating on you. You were the best. You were the cutest. They were hating on you. And I was like, oh, when I took the mic off, I was like, oh my God. Oh, she had a mic on actually. And I was like, oh my God, they probably think I'm a crazy mom. But I was like, you're so much better than half these snotty nosed kids, you know, but so yeah, it was a great experience. I definitely was very nervous for her, but you know, she was one of the youngest ones. She was 9 at the time, and she was
Wow.
dancing like 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. It was insane. It was crazy.
They were probably like, who is that stage mom?
Oh, I was a psychopath. Like I was trying to be nice to everyone, but I know they were probably like, I couldn't help it. I'd make the ugliest faces as soon as I walked in. I was like just crazy.
You're like, let's just move Honey Boo Boo out of the way and get
Oh,
Sophia
she
to
was,
the.
the funny thing is she was on the show and Sophia got eliminated. I was like, please, she doesn't even dance.
You're like, at least let Sophia come in past her.
I mean, yeah, it was just, I was a bad mom.
Would you ever, listen, we've had a lot of housewives, Lisa Vanderpump, Erica Jane. We've
Mhm.
had a lot of housewives that have gone on to Dancing with the Stars. Would you ever, if your phone rang, do Dancing with the Stars?
I don't know. I feel like I'm a decent dancer. I'm not one of those people that's just gonna like do the splits on the dance floor. But I feel like I'm good. Maybe.
That's why you'd be perfect. They would teach you, you would
Yeah.
perfect.
Knowing me, I'll end up falling in love with one of the dancers, and then that'll be a whole storyline. And I don't know if I'm ready for all that.
Crossover, Miami Housewives, Dancing with the Stars. Well, speaking of falling in love with a dancer, and you mentioned you were single. So you are single now. You're not dating anyone